We're gonna make some sorrel jam. We'll start by getting some water. And here we have the sorrel. This we're using the red sorrel to make this jam. I'm just gonna put that in the pot. We have no cinnamon stick, so we're gonna use the leaves. And then we have some, ginger. And then we're gonna add our water. So if you have ever made the sorrel juice or drink, the idea is to pretty much mimic the way you make the sorrel drink. And then we go from there because we're going to try to reduce the sorrel juice down into a jelly or jam consistency. All right, so even though to make the jam or the jelly is to mimic making a sorrel drink, you don't want to put too much water because the more water you put, then the longer you have to, keep it on the flame or the heat to reduce it. So you don't want to use too much water. I believe for this, approximately 1.5 cup of water I use for this jam that I'm making. So we can start at low or medium heat and just cover and let it, boil up and do its thing. As soon as it starts boiling up, you can, give it probably a couple minutes after it starts boiling up and you turn the heat down. All right. So when you get to this point, you want to put your heat down on low heat and just let it kind of simmer. Because I'm actually making jam, not jelly. I'm gonna blend the sorrel flour, so I'm gonna make sure it's soft as possible. So when we blend it, we don't have any kind of like lumps. I will remove the cinnamon leaves and the ginger, but I will blend all of the sorrel. So we're just gonna let the it sit a little bit longer so we can get all of that spice from the ginger. All right, so quick side note. So I believe I mentioned jam and jelly earlier in the video, but there's a difference, and probably a lot of people don't really know that there's a difference, and we use them interchangeably, including myself at times. So jelly is actually made from just the juice of whatever you're making it from. Say you're using strawberry, so you use a strawberry juice instead of like the pulp. So that's what jelly is. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So it's usually made from, like clear liquid or juice, in the sense just for better understanding. And jam is actually made from like crushed fruits. So like what I'm doing right here now, that would be considered jam based on the process. So I wouldn't get rid of the sorrel flour. I would get it and I would blend it so it would have pieces of the fruits. And just to give you an idea, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what the jam would look like. All right, so this is what it looks like. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is what it looked like. I removed the cinnamon leaves and I guess most of the ginger. So I'm just gonna blend this and try to make like a puree kind of consistency, and then I will put it back on the heat with a little bit of sugar, and then that's when we're gonna start to, get the desired consistency that we want. we're gonna add some sugar. And you don't want to go in with a lot of sugar at one time, especially if you're not able to consume a lot of sugar. So I'm going to add a little bit of time and I will taste as I go on. It's important that you continue to, stir this. You don't want to walk away from it. This is the consistency that we have now. We still have a little ways to go. But as I was saying earlier, for people who can't use sugar or sensitive to sugar or whatever the case may be, there are sugar-free options or low sugar options. However, it does not offer the thickening properties like regular sugar. So you might have to get other ingredients to help with the thickening aspect of making the jam or jelly. So you can use sugar-free ingredients. It just won't get that thickening from the sugar component. So as I said before, you have to add other ingredients to get that thickening portion of it. All right, I think we're just about done right now. So this is a consistency that you wanna get. And let's do this to do a quick test. You see, it stays in place. That's what we want. So this is not coming back together. So it's still a little bit of tart to it, which I don't mind. You still get the flavor of the sorrel. You don't want to put too much sugar, and all you're eating is just sugar paste. So this is good. So we're going to turn it off, and as it cools, it gets a little bit thicker. And besides the satisfaction of knowing that you make this at home, you also know that there's some extra ingredients that you can do without. So you take a look at this, and you saw the ingredients that I use in this. So we did eliminate quite a few ingredients. So there you go. So we're going to try this as soon as it cools down. We're going to try it with some bread or crackers and see what it tastes like. Only some girls don't comprehend. No, she not agree with them policies. So she burn her trees. No apologies never needed. On her property, no, it never sees. So she get her peace and her release when she weeded. Like it when it's pure, but she have a cream. Prefer when it green, and more THC when she's sleeping. When me go country and me come back in, she not ask her thing, cause she know what me bring. She put her lips to my blunt and kiss it.